Look into the darkness between the stars. What do you see? Nothing. Or perhaps everything you've been missing. The universe holds a secret so profound that it reshapes everything we thought we knew about reality. For every star you can see, for every galaxy blazing across the cosmic canvas, there exists something else. Something invisible. Something that doesn't reflect light, doesn't emit energy, and yet it holds galaxies together. We call it dark matter. Scientists estimate that roughly 85% of all matter in the universe is dark matter. 85%. Think about that for a moment. The stars, the planets, the nebulae, everything we've ever seen with our eyes or captured with our telescopes represents less than 15% of what actually exists. The vast majority of the universe's substance remains hidden from view, known only by the gravitational effects it creates, by the way it shapes the visible cosmos around it. And perhaps, just perhaps, this cosmic truth whispers something about the architecture of our own existence. In the 1930s, astronomer Fritz Zwicky noticed something strange. Galaxies within massive galaxy clusters were moving far too fast. According to the visible matter he could observe, these galaxies should have been flung apart by their own velocity, scattered across the cosmos like marbles rolling off a table. But they weren't. Something unseen was holding them together. Decades later, astronomer Vera Rubin confirmed this mystery on an even more intimate scale. She studied the rotation of individual spiral galaxies and discovered that stars at the outer edges were orbiting just as fast as those near the center. This shouldn't be possible. Based on the visible matter alone, those outer stars should be moving much slower, or they should have been ejected into the void long ago. The only explanation: there had to be more matter than we could see. A vast, invisible scaffolding permeating each galaxy, creating gravitational force without making its presence known through light. We cannot see dark matter. We cannot touch it or measure it directly. It doesn't interact with electromagnetic radiation, which means it's completely invisible to every telescope we've ever built. And yet, its influence is undeniable. Bend space. It holds galaxies in their graceful spirals. It creates the very structure that allows galaxy clusters to exist. Dark matter is detected not by what it is, but by what it does, by the gaps it fills, by the cohesion it creates, by the way visible matter responds to its invisible embrace. The universe, it seems, is held together by what we cannot see. Now let's pause here. Let's sit with this cosmic revelation for a moment. If 85% of the universe's matter is invisible, influencing everything yet remaining hidden from direct observation, what does that suggest about the forces shaping your own life? Think about the decisions you make each day. How many of them are truly conscious choices, and how many are guided by invisible currents? Beliefs you absorbed so young you don't remember learning them. Cultural patterns that shape your thoughts before you've even finished thinking them. Emotional undercurrents running so deep beneath your awareness that you mistake them for truth. What is the dark matter of your inner universe? Consider the relationships that have defined you. Not just the words that were spoken, but the silences. Not just what was taught explicitly, but what was modeled, absorbed, inherited. The invisible scaffolding of expectations, wounds, hopes, and fears that hold the structure of your self-concept together. Can you identify them? Or do you, like astronomers studying distant galaxies, know they exist only by their effects? When you find yourself repeatedly pulled toward the same patterns, despite your conscious intentions pointing elsewhere, what invisible gravity is at work? When certain opportunities feel impossibly heavy, too difficult to reach, while others seem to orbit naturally into your life, what unseen mass is bending the space around your possibilities? The universe operates through forces we cannot directly perceive. Perhaps we do too. But here's where the cosmic metaphor deepens. Dark matter isn't just invisible. It's also essential. Without it, galaxies wouldn't form. Stars wouldn't cluster. The very structure that allows for planetary systems, for atmospheres, for life itself, depends entirely on this hidden substance. So ask yourself, what are the invisible forces in your life that, despite remaining hidden, have created the very possibility of who you are today? The encouragement you received that you've long forgotten but that shaped your sense of capability. The moment someone believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself, leaving gravitational echoes that still pull you forward. The quiet resilience you inherited from ancestors whose names you may not even know, but whose strength lives in your cells. Not all invisible influences are limiting. Some are holding you together. Some are creating the very conditions for your growth. The question isn't whether these forces exist. Just like dark matter, they're there whether we acknowledge them or not. The question is, can you begin to map them? Can you become an astronomer of your own inner cosmos, studying not what you can see directly, but what you can infer from the patterns of your life? When you feel resistance, can you ask, what invisible mass am I pushing against? When you feel pulled in a certain direction despite your logical mind saying otherwise, can you pause and wonder, what deep gravity is at work here? And perhaps most importantly, if you could detect the dark matter of your psyche, if you could understand the invisible forces shaping your orbit through life, would you find that some of them no longer serve you? Would you discover that you're being held in a pattern by beliefs that were never truly yours to begin with? Here's what astronomers know. Dark matter creates structure, but it isn't static. Moves, flows. It responds to the distribution of visible matter around it. The universe is dynamic, constantly reshaping itself through the interplay of seen and unseen forces. You are not fixed. You are not trapped by your invisible influences. You are held in a delicate balance between what you can see and what you cannot, between conscious choice and unconscious pattern. And within that balance exists the possibility of change. What if the very act of becoming aware of these hidden forces begins to alter their influence? What if observation itself, as quantum physics suggests, changes the nature of what's being observed? Dark matter reminds us that the universe is far more complex, far more mysterious, than what meets the eye. And so are you. We are each a cosmos unto ourselves, spinning through existence, held together by forces both visible and invisible, shaped by influences we may never fully comprehend. But perhaps that's not a limitation. Perhaps that's an invitation. An invitation to become curious rather than certain, to explore rather than assume, to recognize that between what you know about yourself and what remains hidden lies an entire universe of potential waiting to be discovered. You are made of stardust, yes, but you're also shaped by the dark matter within, by the invisible architecture of everything that came before you and everything that moves beneath your conscious awareness. And here's the profound truth that astronomy teaches us. The invisible is not the enemy. It's the foundation. It's what holds everything together. It's what makes the dance of stars possible. So perhaps the question isn't how to eliminate your invisible influences, but how to navigate them with wisdom. How to honor what holds you together while remaining open to new possibilities. How to be both scientist and star, both observer and observed. The cosmos doesn't reveal all its secrets at once. It asks us to look deeper, to measure carefully, to infer from effects what we cannot see directly. It asks us to develop patience with mystery. Can you offer yourself the same courtesy? Can you become an explorer of your own depths, mapping the dark matter within not to conquer it, but to understand it, not to eliminate it, but to dance with it consciously? Because somewhere in that dance, between the visible and invisible, between what you know and what you're discovering, between the forces that shape you and the choices you make despite them, exists the extraordinary truth of who you're becoming. You are held together by more than you know. You are influenced by more than you see. And within that mystery lives your power, your potential, and perhaps your most authentic self. The universe keeps its secrets, but it also keeps inviting us to look deeper. What will you discover in your own darkness? Keep exploring the universe within and without.